with a feels like of 16. And just before I got on this, I got the official notification that my job is not going to open today. They just don't want us out there in that freezing weather. And I don't know what the weather, like the weather's going to stay really cold today and possibly through a good bit of tomorrow. And I'm not sure we're going to see the sun today, which is why I have the curtains closed, because my windows are heat sinks. And so those curtains have a rubber lining on one side to help keep the heat in. The good news is, like I said yesterday, the rain stopped before the freezing weather moved in. And so for the most part, I think most of us have kept our power and running water, which is the big thing. So we've stayed warm. And we just have interesting little icicles off of the edge of our house. So yeah, here we are. Okay. You can, and if you're curious, so yeah, that's a pillow behind me with a towel on top of it, with a cat on top of it. It's because there's a heating pad underneath it. We have cat heating pads, and so they stay plugged in all the time, but it's only when there's a cat laying on them that they get warm. If the cat gets off, they stop heating. So I don't have to worry about them overheating or anything like that. But there's been pretty much cats continuously on them. Okay, so, but you're not here for a weather update, unless you're just curious. What you're here for is a new design for living. And let's do the housekeeping really quickly. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email is info@creativelife.org. If you email that, it will get you on the list for one email a week. It tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot, so if it says click here now, it means it. It'll take you right to the information of the person that can help you get it. The only reason you would get more than one is, well, i.e. right now, weather. If something unusual happens, and it's almost always weather related because we do live on the Gulf Coast, and our weather is weird. More often than we like to admit now. So there's that. It is also a blind CC, which means nobody is going to see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us, so I hope you feel safe doing it. Last thing is the social media, because I'm doing this on social media. Hang on, there are words coming out of my mouth. The social media, thanks for the commentary. I think he's jealous because he has to go to work and I'm not going to work. That's what he's getting ready to do. The social media is, and now he's distracted me and I forgot where I was going. He's over there smirking at me. Okay, so we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I'm running Rev Ryan on all those social medias that I am on. We do not monetize the social media. So what we ask you to do instead is to go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you are on. And then if you allow notifications, it lets you know when we go live or when we upload new videos. So, and then engage with the individual post by reacting to the post, sharing the post, commenting on the post. That bumps us in the algorithms. More people see our stuff, which is the whole goal of social media. So, it is a free and easy way that you can support the center. Okay, now, a new design for living, as I have been saying, what I believe about this is the process of science of mind. We are a religion for government paperwork, but we're more like a philosophy. We are a way of life. You can live your life this way. And so this was written towards the end of Ernest's career, and he wanted, he did a lot of theory, and he was like, you know what? That's enough theory. Let's actually go out and do this, because that's what he says. Try this stuff out, practice this stuff, do this stuff. Talking theory is wonderful, but unless you actually do it, what are we even doing here, right? So we are I believe we're in chapter 6, Great Possibilities. And it's a funny title today, which I think is really interesting. The title is You Have No Alibis. So let's see what You Have No Alibis is about. Let's see. Ooh. I'm trying to adjust my light source here. Okay. It seems that in almost every aspect of our experience, we find ourselves limited in some way or another. We find that we are blocked at some point beyond which we are unable to go. Whether this applies to a fuller enjoyment of health, greater success, or better relationships does not matter. All of us encounter certain blocks or limitations at some point, but the point at which they appear is different for each individual. Some people are never well, others are always poor. It doesn't appear as though they ever got started living a decent life. They really have limitations. But why any limitations? Okay. One of the most difficult things for us to believe or convince ourselves of is that the only limitations we have are the ones we have created for ourselves. That it is who we, okay, I'm trying. That it is we who have cluttered up our lives. It is as though we have spent all our time gathering up limitations, placing them as roadblocks on our pathway, and then grumbling about the fact that they block our way. Where do they come from? Thought and thing. What causes them to occur? Cause and effect. It's like, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can, if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're right. That's what he's talking about here. There is no other way they should become a part of our experience. There is nothing in the nature of things in mind which would permit the fullness of life and living in one person and place. Wait, hang on. I think I've left a word out. There is nothing in the nature of things in mind which would permit the fullness of life and living in one person or place in one person, or place restrictions and limitations on another. Okay, got it. So basically, what he's trying to say is there's nothing in mind that's going to let one person have the fullness of expression and place limitations on another. Now, I will tell you, and hopefully he'll get here, but if he doesn't, I want to tell you, there's nothing in mind that will place that limitation. We are really good at getting in our own way. We're also really good at getting in each other's way. Like, there are whole systems designed specifically to get in people's way. Okay? So, don't let him make it sound like it's all your fault. Okay? We have ways to get beyond that, but Science of Mind does have a strong social justice undercurrent, because we absolutely want a world that works for everybody, and we do recognize that there are a lot of systems in place that are designed to get in other people, that are designed to get in people's way. So, okay, yeah. So what he's saying here is there's nothing in mind. There's nothing in the fullness of expression of the divine to let one person have everything and limit other people. There's nothing in mind. What we do with it, that's a different story. Okay. So I always want to make that clear, because I don't want anybody to walk away from this teaching thinking it's all my fault. No. There are definitely systems designed to get in your way, but it's not coming from the divine. It is definitely coming from the human. All right. We have no place to turn for an alibi. we are confronted with an unpleasant task of looking at ourselves in a mirror and pointing at ourselves with an accusing finger saying, "You did it." Of course we will deny it. We will ignore the accusation. We will try every means of logic and reason at our disposal to dismiss the charge. But there will be something deep inside that knows it is true and also knows that something can be done about it. And that's the really important thing, is that we know on some level when we are getting in our own way, and that we can do something about it. That's really important. Okay? It's like, yeah, I know I'm getting in my own way. The limitations we find encircling us have but one source. They spring from our thought. They are the result of our negative, habitual thought patterns, conscious or tucked away in the subconscious, which may have been instigated by our past experiences or the blind acceptance of what now appear to be the wrong ideas and concepts of others. So he's saying, yeah, it's not all of the negative thought patterns in you you may have accepted them from other people. Like, any of us who grew up in most of the religions have got some negative thought patterns that were definitely installed by the religion. So, my biggest one is with Christianity, where, they say, well, look, Jesus is this shining example, and you are bad and wrong and sinner, and you will never live up to him. That's a negative thought pattern. It's wrong. I don't like it. Okay, an engineer involved in the construction of vehicles for travel in outer space said, in effect, that there is nothing in nature which in any way places any limitation on humanity's thought or what they can do. Right now, we can let our thought go to any place on earth or in the heavens. Our thought can move to any place in time. We can envision any of all possible situations. Our mind is free. Why don't we let it free our experience, not confine it? Why not let it create for us what we desire and not bar us from our greater good? But for our thought to create freedom and not limitation for us, we must fully realize its nature, what it is, how it works, and the way to use it. Our new design for living cannot be built in a haphazard way. This kind of building we have already done too much of, with undesirable results. We consciously move forward step by step, idea by idea, and as we do so, we find we are able to remove limitations which may now exist and make certain no new ones are established. So, gathering up, I love that, gathering up roadblocks, and then wonder why we're tripping over them, right? But I like that he also acknowledged that sometimes those thought patterns aren't ours. They come from, well-meaning people. I'm not saying that people are, I'm not saying that everybody in our life is deliberately getting in our way. But how many times, like, as a girl, growing up, I was told, well, you can't do that because you're a girl. And my response was almost always, watch me. Because I didn't buy into it. I'm like, well, what has me being a girl got to do with my ability to do this? And that's, so I didn't let other people limit me because they didn't think that I could do it because I was a girl. I didn't, and I got to the point that when I would say something and my well-meaning parents would go, well, I don't think that you could do that. I stopped telling them. I was more than halfway through ministerial school before I told either one of my parents that I'd gone to ministerial school. Because at one point I'd said something about going to do social work. And both my parents kind of went, I don't think you're suited for that. I didn't go into social work. So I learned to keep my own counsel. I learned to stop telling people, what I thought I wanted to do. I just, I told the inner circle that I needed the support from, and I just let everybody else continue to believe whatever they wanted so that I could do what it was that I wanted. That's what he's talking about. Well-meaning people, and I did mention the systems, because that's a real thing, that there are systems where, we let people get in our own way. We let people put limitations on us that they have no business putting on us. So, it's a law of cause and effect. And so, the new design for living looks like we're going to clear out those old habits and just let them go. And I just noticed that curtain moving, which probably means there's a cat in there. I don't know what they're watching. All right, so you have no alibis. All right? You have the power to change your life, and it's time to start looking at the beliefs that you can't. All right? So, we'll pick this back up tomorrow, but right now, I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, a stay warm day, a do what you gotta do day, a take care of yourself day, a drink plenty of water day. It's very important to stay hydrated in the cold, because we don't want to. So do that. Yeah. Do something amazing for yourself. Cuddle your fur babies day. Listen to some good music day. Read a good book day. Do something fun for yourself day, especially if you're like me and not going anywhere day. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm kind of glad I don't have to go out into the weather, but I'm also, so, oh well, it just means the rest of the week's going to be really busy, and that's a good thing. Day. Okay. I got distracted day, so, take care of yourself day. Whatever else you do today, take care of yourself today. A good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You're a spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, a brilliant light, and a divine spark. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call it, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good, and from there, anything is possible. That's what that book is about. Anything is possible. All right? Okay, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time. Oh, wait. Did I say Reverend David's going to be on around 5 p.m. with you? And I'll be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow? Probably not. Okay, now, know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.